So it's kind of like a building that has no use at the moment and is still quite dangerous.
Yeah.
So nobody can go there and nobody can do anything with it.
And unfortunately, the material for the building can't be recycled because what they made for the building is extremely old, like the material for the building. So that's why they can't recycle it. They can't tore it down. So, and as Kelkin said, there are no projects or ideas for this building to be developed.
So this is on the waterfront, correct?
Yes.
Right? So a lot of the waterfront development, like we learned that one on our trips, right? Has had to be the soil had to be cleaned, right?
Yes.
So that will be the case here, probably.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous too because if people go inside, there's a lot of rubble. Wires. There's exposed wires. They still have electrical current in them, so they can shock people. And since it's so old, the roofs of like some parts of the building actually keep collapsing. So if people go in, rocks can fall and tumble on them. Yeah, so it's really dangerous.
It's off limits, pretty much.
And then since the Billy Bishop trip, or you have to take the ferry to the island. The island's like really beautiful area too. So then the hotel, it's also great because it's beside the lake, and then it's also near the island, so tourists can also go to the island, and it's like a nice attraction there too.
Yeah.
It would be harder to change the outside too, since it's a historic building. You can't tear it down, and you have to get certain permits to add things to it.
Did you find any other examples, like the global examples? Like where have you been looking for the sustainability and design?
Yeah, we found a couple of places in general that have been rebuilt and revised, and we also found ideas that we can have implemented to our space.
And where are they?
Well, some of the things that we found were in like Russia, and some of them are
Sweden,
Norway, and some are even like in Canada.
Can you talk a little bit about those ones?
Sure.
Some of those ones?
Well, most of the ones that I found, I did my research on Pinterest, and I got pictures and info on them. So one of them is like a tree that's man-made tree, but it works just like a tree. It takes CO2 in and lets out air, but the other cool part is since there's algae inside it, it creates light and oxygen, so you can light up the streets and have, and it recycles air just like a 200-year-old tree would.
I found some reusable toilets.
Okay. Reusable. What do you mean by reusable?
Like it saves water.
Oh, like low flow toilets? Save water. That's a good idea, isn't it? So you're thinking about
So,
that? You were
like if
bringing
they
that?
made a hotel, you could use it, and it would save water, and people could go to the washroom.
Exactly. With a low flow toilet, right?
Like almost like that idea.
I see.
Where it uses 50% reused water that's being cleansed through like a filter, and 50% new water.
Okay.
And then there's also another thing that I found, green concrete. So it's concrete that uses like biological things and recycled concrete, and it's actually really good for building, and it works just as well as normal concrete, but it's like good for the environment.
More sustainable, right?
So we want to make our restaurant kind of stand out, kind of be unique, and I think if we, really put it out there that it was a sustainable, like, healthy restaurant, it could, be kind of trendy and get all the high school students and also the older audience involved in it. At least that's what we hope anyway.
Great. And you had a really good idea for the rooftop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing a greenhouse.
Yeah, so we can grow our own food, to that most of it at least, to supply it to the people that are eating at our restaurant.
And actually, I found a website based in the UK that showed rooftop greenhouses. And the really cool part of it was that they used heat absorbed from the greenhouses to heat up the houses itself, like the houses it was on top of, and it saved like 50% on the heating bill. And so that was a very cool idea that I think we could implement into the design of it. And originally, we were supposed to get all our food from the greenhouse, but we kind of realized that's a bit unrealistic.
No, yeah.
So, but there's a lot of like organic meat markets and stuff like that all throughout Toronto, so we could just maybe set up a deal with one and...
If you try to go local, like you know how they have that local food movement where you just source from local farmers and...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if we set up a deal with like local farmers and stuff like that, it would probably work great.
It doesn't have to be a barrel, but it's pretty much a thing that can collect rain.
Yeah?
And then pretty much it can filter it through pipes and stuff through the building. And that will let us use, like, most of our water can be used from that.
solar power could do a whole heck of a lot. It could heat water as well as make electricity. So by the way we cut the heating bill with the greenhouse, as well as having like solar energy, we could almost like have it run itself